Try the spokesperson one more time, because looking at those visuals, definitely we need to understand what government is doing there. Where do you need to go if you're stranded, like probably that family right now, with water everywhere in the house? Let me try, of course, Ms. Nonala Ndlovu one more time. Spokesperson, thank you so much for your time. We understand that the signal hasn't been favorable, but let's try and get this conversation out of the way. What is government doing, and what work lies ahead right now in terms of relief efforts within the province of KZN?
Well, certainly in areas around it, when all the community halls are now open and communities are urged to go to the community halls to seek shelter if their areas or if their homes are a threat to their lives, they are encouraged to move to the nearest community hall so that they can find assistance there. We do have numbers, particularly around Evacuation, that they can call for the disaster management center, and they can call that number and they would be assisted.
Right. MEC, we're trying to understand, of course, we're seeing visuals of a flooded house. There's so many of them, roads being flooded, cars being stuck. How would you explain this level of flooding? Is it an issue with drainage systems, infrastructure problems within the province? Hence, of course, our roads, the homes in these parts of KZN can't seem to handle, especially low-lying areas, the influx of water that we're seeing, of course, going around.
Even though there may be issues related maybe to the drainage system because of the culture of littering in our communities, but the amount of water that is coming through is certainly beyond any comprehension. It's just been a very heavy downpour, and even with the best drainage system, I think we would still be in a similar predicament, because it's just been pouring for the past, I think, 4 days now. It's been constantly raining, particularly around Evacuation.
Yeah, and we know that EMS can't do this work alone, spokesperson. Any help that you have dispatched? I mean, I've been seeing reports here about members of the SANDF also called in to assist. Can you share with us which sister partners you're working alongside to ensure that you save as many lives as possible?
Well, at this point in time, it's the disaster management center for all the provinces. They are on high alert, particularly in Evacuation. The Evacuation Disaster Management Center is working around the clock. We do have SAPS also on the ground, as you have indicated. We have also activated the SANDF to assist the Department of Social Development and SASA. They are also assisting in providing relief, providing interim relief in the community halls that I've indicated. They are providing meals and blankets. So everyone that can actually provide any assistance has been called in to actually assist.
Right. Let's talk about the breaking news that we're also running here on eNCA. We have confirmed 2 people that are still missing, 20 that have unfortunately died due to these flooding. Has that number changed, spokesperson? Is it still the same from the data that you're receiving on the ground?
The number we haven't received any updates on the numbers. As I indicated earlier, it is a moving target. Even that 20, it's not confirmed yet in terms of whether those people have perished, because the SAPS has not been on scene. The 2 that have been confirmed are the fatalities that occurred yesterday. And as I indicated, as the day progresses, we will be able to provide more confirmations and more figures in terms of what is unfolding on the ground.
Yeah. Have you made a plea perhaps to schools to be closed at this point, for employers to be understanding, for people not to go to work during this time?
We have made a plea through the Department of Education. There has been a circular issued indicating that all schools should be closed in the affected areas. We have issued pleas that people should stay indoors wherever possible, so that we can try and save as many lives as possible.
Yeah. What's your advice to people right now? Because I can imagine the panic of those who are trying to go for safety, trying to get out of their flooding homes, flooding communities. I also saw a video of a car that was stuck, in a flooded road path. People trying to save the occupants of the car, but equally advising one another not to put the lives of the EMS in danger by trying to drive across roads that are flooded, walking across definitely dangerous flooded areas. But I think it's important to hear from you officially as government, any tips, advisors for those in panic right now in terms of what to do at this stage?
Well, the advice remains the same. Remain indoors as much as possible where it's safe. Don't cross over flooded bridges. Bridges that are submerged, they are definitely a no-go area, and don't try to navigate through any heavy amounts of water, because you can't guarantee your safety there. And we are still urging that if you feel that you are in any danger, please move to safety, and we continue to contact your local leadership. We are also dispatching the emergency numbers across all platforms.
Can you share those emergency numbers with us, spokesperson? Do you have them at hand?
Pardon?
Do you have those emergency numbers with which our viewers can take note of? Do you have them at hand?
I will get to it just now.
All right. Perhaps you can even mail it to our producer while we're having this conversation, and we'll also try and get a hold of them, spokesperson, because I think it's important for those listening in, worried about family members, loved ones in KZN, even if they're out of the province, they know, of course, who to contact, of course, sharing those numbers with their loved ones there. I need to ask you about Eskom, because I've seen a lot of concerns also yesterday from people saying, the load shedding and the notice from Eskom spokesperson couldn't have come at a worse time, where people need lights, they need electricity, they need to keep warm, they need to see what's happening in and around them. I'm not sure if you've had contact with Eskom about any potential load shedding scheduled within the province, to perhaps ask them if there isn't anything they can do to ensure that lighting, not only for community members, but even for EMS, in trying to rescue as many people as possible, that they can see the work that they're doing.
I'm going to respond to this, but I'm going to have to cut this interview, because I've got another interview that I've got to go into. We haven't had contact with Eskom at the moment. We are concerned because we do need electricity at this point in time. And I do apologize. There was a pre-scheduled interview that I need to take now, and we can talk a little bit later.
Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, we're hoping to have more time with you, spokesperson Nonala Ndlovu, but understandably, he's saying that you have to move right now to your next scheduled appointment. That is spokesperson Nonala Ndlovu there. And Gareth, you've heard, we're trying to get as much as we can for our viewers, just in terms of information that you can, use if you are within the area. But if you're outside of KZN, I can imagine how worried you are of family there. And those numbers that we'd ask for are equally important, just to understand which other points of safety that people can go to.
Yeah, so I managed to find one or two numbers, because clearly the spokesperson very busy heading off to another interview, despite not giving us the numbers that we so desperately need. So the number I did find for KZN EMS, this is according to their website, the number, and just take this down as well if you're at home, if in the KZN area you need assistance, 101 777. 101 777 is a number that I have found on KZN EMS's website. 101 777. If you are in danger, you know someone who's in danger, you can see something happening, that seems to be the most central number to give out at the moment. So 101 777 is what I found online for you in the KZN area, that you can phone. Anything you see, whether it's a car trying to cross the road, people stuck inside their houses, buildings collapse, mudslides, it's chaos in KZN at the moment. 20 people having lost their lives, 2 people still missing, the rain still continuing. So that number again, 101 777. It's obviously toll-free. Any issues you see, that is for KZN EMS.
Yeah, but also making mention, the spokesperson saying that that number is a moving target. That's the number they have right now. But obviously, with everything that's ongoing, they're still, of course, following through with that number. We'll keep you updated should that number change. It's on our breaking story crawler there, in terms of the COGTA department's official statement from the spokesperson saying that they're doing all they can to give us updated versions. But community halls at this point point that's your point of reference in terms of you seeking safety at this point. EMS has been, dispatched. Members of the SAPS have been, the SNDF rather, have been dispatched to also assist with those evacuations and those relief efforts. So it's going to be quite a busy day in KZN today to ensure that everyone, as many people as possible, if not everyone, are in safety.
Yeah, please stay safe if you can. We'll keep an eye on that for you. Now, coming